So now we're going to talk about the things Steven Tyler did. I know this one was really hard for a lot of people to believe too. So a 16-year-old named Julia Holcomb started going to his shows in 1973. Despite being 25 years old at the time, Steven was interested in her as soon as he met her backstage at a concert in Portland, Oregon. After dating for a little while, Steven literally went to her mother and asked her to sign over guardianship to him. Julia wasn't worried at first because she didn't think she would actually do it, but she did. And then she felt vulnerable knowing that she was basically Steven Tyler's ward. Julia had a rough upbringing and had lost some relatives in a bad accident, so things were kind of tough on her, which made her feel even more vulnerable, especially when her mother signed over rights to her. By that point, she described him as her only hope, and she became lost in the rock and roll culture of sex and drugs. So he took guardianship, saying he was going to enroll her in school whenever she moved with him. Then he never even did that. Mind you, she never asked her mom to go with Steven. Steven went to her mom, and her mom signed over her rights. Like, what the hell? Within a few months, Steven started telling her that he wanted a baby. And after a little while of being told that, of course she believed him, and she thought that he really loved her because, he did all this crazy shit to be with her. He eventually threw her birth control pills off the balcony of the hotel, and, she was soon pregnant. And that's where things sadly get more twisted. Steven continuously told Julia he planned to marry her. However, months after her pregnancy, he began backing out and really not wanting anything to do with any of it. But the fact that he had guardianship over her kind of complicated things. This is where Julia said, "I was alone and pregnant in the apartment with no money, no education, no prenatal care, no driver's license, and little food. Steven would call me every day to check in with me, and I asked him for money to get groceries." While she was pregnant, there was a house fire. Then literally while she was in the hospital trying to recover, Steven started pressuring her to have an abortion. She was about 5 months along at this point. Go ahead and pause here to read all of this if you'd like. He basically gave her an ultimatum and said if she has that baby, she'll have to go back to her mom's. She already felt abandoned by her mom, so after arguing with Steven about it for hours, she eventually gave in and had the abortion. Then he added the other cherry on top. It soon came to light that he had been cheating and gotten another girl pregnant around the same time, so Liv Tyler was soon born. She got out of that situation, and by 1977, she was back with her mother. The forced abortion traumatized Julia so much that she is now a pro-life advocate with the Silent No More awareness campaign. This is Julia, who opened a facility in Memphis for girls who have been neglected or abused. She was a victim, but now she's a hero.